All right, we are back, and upcoming is Stennis with his Dark Souls 2 Soul Level 1 any percent run. So definitely look forward to that. We are also so close to hitting $500 raised for Save the Children. So definitely make us hit that goal during this run. Thank you, everybody. And Stennis, up to you now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I'm Stennis. I'm gonna do, as Meral said, Soul 1 any percent is pretty similar to the regular any percent route, if you've seen that. But with not leveling up, we'd have a fair bit less damage and die really easily. So this run can go either way. But without further ado, I think we should just start. So I think we'll just start a timer as I hit new game in 3, 2, 1, go. So wish me luck, chat. I'm gonna need it.
Good luck. I'm not chat, but
yeah, I'll need all I can get. So
I'll type in the chat.
all right. So since Dark Souls 2 is such an insanely hardcore game, we actually start off the run here after choosing a class having absolutely no weapon at all. Which means that we will have to start by basically getting some resources needed to do damage at all. So I'm picking the Deprived class because it's the only SL1 class here, and also picking some healing wares because I'm gonna need some resources for the run. One nice thing here is that there's absolutely no menu at the start because I don't have anything, so there will just be a short running segment here to Majula, so if there's any donations right off the bat, you can read them now.
Yes, we do. We have a $5 donation from Blubber Burned saying, insert a hilarious and witty pun here. Yes, if you want to donate jokes, feel free. I think they're super funny. Most of them, not all, but maybe. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the donation.
So, coming up here now is the first major glitch we'll use throughout the run. This is a glitch called Bino Boosting, and as you can see, I'm running really fast now. I'm doing it by basically doing an attack while I'm looking through the binos and rolling, which, because of superior programming, makes you run really fast for up to about 3 seconds, depending on the timing of the execution. And now I'm gonna need some souls to buy the items I need. So to do that, I'm just gonna use the soul I just picked up, but I'm gonna drop it back on the ground as soon as I use it, so that I can use it a couple more times. Makes sense, right? So now that we have a few extra souls, I can buy some items I need from Melentia. Basically, I'm gonna need the blacksmith key, because we're gonna get the mace shortly, which will be our weapon of choice, and upgrade it. And to do that, I'm gonna need the blacksmith key and the bombs to also kill Pursuer right off the bat, even though we don't have a weapon, and get the ring, which will add quite a lot of damage when we can't level up our stats at all, because it adds like 40 or 50 raw damage, I think. Oh, that bomb almost hit me. It might have killed me, possibly, but that's fine. So I'm gonna rest at the bonfire here because we're gonna do a glitch shortly that I'll explain as I do it, which, if a hollow followed me, he would interrupt. So here we just buy the key and one bomb. That is basically all we can afford, so it's gonna have to work to blow up this wall. And then we're gonna do a glitch called the Pursuer Quick Kill. Basically what I did there when I jumped over the gap is I triggered Pursuer falling down from the sky, and if you sit down at the bonfire at like just the right time, which I should get here, then the bird carrying Pursuer will despawn and actually drop Pursuer to his death. So I didn't get the boss souls directly from the kill since I never was in the fight technically, but I did get the dropped boss soul afterwards, which I now have in my inventory here. So, using this boss soul gives me like basically just enough that I can buy all the resources I'll need for the run. So I'm gonna get the mace and 6 Titan charge, which is just enough to get my mace up to +3. That is our endgame weapon. Unfortunately, it's not that good. We're also gonna buy a shield here from Maulin, because the shield that we normally pick up in regular any percent actually has too high stat requirements for us to block with it effectively. So we buy this round Parma shield instead, which we also can't use one-handed, but at least we can use it two-handed. And even though we can't really use it, have the stats to use it, we can still parry with it. So, as soon as I get it here, this is the second major glitch, I suppose. Unless you can't pursue a quick kill. But it's another glitch that we'll use multiple times throughout the run, which is called parry walking. Basically what this does is this puts our character in a state where the things were still in the parrying animation, or in the riposte animation after a parry, which fixes our height to basically the height that we were at during the riposte. But by sandwiching ourselves underneath objects, we can gain extra height on every jump. So that's what I'm doing here. Basically I tried to do 7 jumps there. Hopefully I counted correctly, because counting is hard. So that I get some height here, which loads in the area after the gate and allows me to skip the entire part with the getting a branch of yore, and yeah, basically skipped going down to the gutter or another place far away. So I'm gonna grab that bonfire because we'll be coming back here later. 2 points actually. And we're gonna do another parry walk here, which will skip a huge portion of the game. Basically skips the entire part of killing all the 4 great ones, or what you want to call them, as well as getting the King's Ring. So it saves like probably like half an hour doing this. But we'll do the basically the same exact thing we just did, just in a different spot. So I'll get into this branch, jump 11 times. And then we'll run through here. And it's not loaded in yet, but what is in front of me here is all this keep. So by hitting certain load triggers on the way, I should be able to get over the gate. And here we are. Now it's just a short running segment here, so if there's any more donations, feel free.
Yes, we do have one donation from Cute Dog, donating $25, saying 360 no scope them all milled. And he, of course, donated that towards our bid for Demon Souls All Bosses Bow Only run, which means that Milt will have to now play with no lock on when he's doing that run, because we just hit it. So thank you so much for that generous donation. We are so close to 500. Let's get them donations in and save the kids.
Alright, so we just baited out that guy hiding in the painting, and luckily he gave me the good attack. He has a shield bash as well, which is really fast, which is much harder to parry, but got lucky there. So I'm just gonna pick up a 8k soul here that I'll want for later. And this door is really heavy, so I'll try and put my back into it a bit. There we go. And we'll also skip this boss by simply running around it. And this elevator is also really long, so also a good spot for donations.
We do have one that just came in from CB Ruffle, or did you say now is a good time?
Yeah,
yeah, okay. Cool. It is a $50 donation from CB Ruffle. Thank you so much, CB. And he says, best of luck to all the runners and all the love in the world to everyone. You are all amazing. Less than 3. Thank you so much, CB. You are amazing too.
Less than 3 to you too, CB. Alright, so I've just spent the time here on this elevator to equip all the items I'll use later. We are not gonna grab a bonfire here, which can be kind of scary because the run back is really long. So if something happens, I'm probably just gonna have to do a save file, because it would take me like 5 minutes to get back here. But we're gonna hopefully survive this part, just so that we can warp back to the Crossroads bonfire we were at earlier, which we'll want to be at to buy some more items. That was actually kind of a sketchy jump I got just there, because it wasn't quite full length, but still worked. And what we're doing now is basically we're just running up to Ancient Dragon, because we have to pick up the Ashen Mist Heart, because the requirement for spawning Nashandra at the end, which is basically all we're working towards, is having killed both the Giant Lord and Throne Duo. And naturally, to kill Giant Lord, we need the Ashen Mist Heart to actually get inside the fight. Basically, the memories are like the only locations. I almost died there. The only locations that you can't get into without having an item, using parywalks or anything like that, because they're entire separate portion of maps. So they behave a bit differently. The way you can sort of skip between areas in this game is that maps are connected together. So from one map you can load in the next one in the chain, and just keep doing that basically using skips. So we're talking to this guy, even though it does take some time, because we want to buy some upgrades to add a little bit of damage for the bosses that we'll be doing, which are not a lot of them. We're only doing 3 bosses in this run, which is naturally Giant Lord, Throne Duo, and Nashandra. So instead of doing the regular skip, you're doing any percent. Since we already have this bonfire, we can do a slightly faster version. We don't have the Catering though, so we can't do the jump you normally see in a current patch run. But luckily, you don't actually have to touch the ground to get inside the Giant Lord boss fight. So this height, we're not touching the ground, so we're not taking full damage, but we can still enter the fight. And this is sort of the first spot where I can either get really lucky or unlucky with the RNG. Basically, if Giant Lord gives me the good opening attack, we'll do quite a lot of damage on him. We got it. By the boulder there, hitting his arm as he launches forward, so that does a bit over 1700 damage. Which is pretty much equivalent to like 10 hits with the weapon. And I'll try and concentrate a little bit, because this fight can be really wonky and I can get one shot by almost anything, so... Also, he's walking really far to the side here. If I go too far down, that fireball you just saw, that somehow still hit me. Didn't do full damage because I was in the air when it hit me. But yeah, as I said, this fight is really wonky. There you go, no monkey shake there. So basically I bounced off one of his feet and then got hit by the other. Which you luckily survived just barely. But if you get hit by his foot full on, then you die. So I'm just gonna buy a few more items in case the last fight gets a bit sketchy. I'm buying extra life gems and also bombs, which you can use on the fight for Nashandra. Normally you would use the witching urns, but at this level the since the bombs actually scale with your levels, then the regular bombs does like 2 more damage than the witching urns. Which probably doesn't matter at all. You probably would do the same amount of hits, but why not? So, as I'm running towards here, I can just equip the bombs again. And we're coming up to the last parry walk actually in the run. And then we'll be at the last boss fight, which is gonna be the absolute sketchiest part of this run. Anyone who's done any percent knows the absolute horror of trying to get Watcher to do what you want her to do. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna parry this guy down here, hopefully not get hit more than once because it does a lot of damage. And we're gonna run on a bit to the right here, because at this height there's actually a lot of kill boxes to my left. So I'm gonna stay a bit on the right side and have a queue basically in the rock wall here, where I'll turn to the left. And what you'll see there is like the glowing on the wall of one of the torches near the path. So if I run straight toward that, I'll be at the final part just before the boss fight. If there's any more donations, this will be the last time we have time for that in the run. So
yeah, we do have one more donation from Anonymous donating $5. So thank you so much to whoever did that. Thank you for supporting the kids, and good luck, Stennis, with the last part.
Thank you. So what we have to do now, because Throne Duel is basically a pretty hard fight to do, especially at this low level, is we have to get Watcher to just fall off the map on her own, and that looks pretty good. So just like that, Watcher is dead, and I got really lucky on that part. Unfortunately, the Fender can still actually one-shot me with a few of his attacks, so I have to be a little bit careful. Since the attack speed of the mace is so much faster than the Dragon Tooth, though, I can do a few hits even when it's being passive. I really don't like him standing on the edge, though. Also, he's being really annoying now. Unfortunately, I don't do enough stun damage to completely stun lock him. Also, I'm dodging way more than I have to. Because sometimes his swipes actually hit a bit lower than he normally does. So that last one, I don't think I would have strafed, actually. Yeah, getting a lot of back jumps here as well. Another one. That attack actually has hyper armor. So if you're trying to stagger him, don't do it on those stab attacks. So the final thing here, now we're gonna have Nashandra. And if I'm really lucky here, I can get a glitch if I time it perfectly. Might be too fast. Yeah, so we didn't get it there. Basically, if we time it perfectly, you can actually break her II for the entire fight, making her just stand there and take your hits. But we didn't get it. Unfortunately, the way you do it is slightly different on SL1, because your equip load is different, which makes your roll different, and your throwing speed different because you have less ADP. So basically everything gets a bit messed up. But hopefully I'll try and not use an item here because I'm kind of a bad cycle. But we'll try to just bait out lasers as much as we can. It's actually not moved at all, which isn't great because that means I'll be in sort of range of curse damage the entire time. So just like most of the bosses in this, any attack from Nashandra will kill me. And I'm just gonna... You can destroy the curse orbs by rolling straight through them. You have to basically start the roll right at where it spawned, but that will avoid having to be in the curse damage for the entire fight. So that's a different laser she has that actually goes sideways. It's a bit longer, so I'll take the opportunity there for an extra hit. And I'll also buff my weapon again, because this is a very slow fight at this point. And this is something she does at some points. I don't know why. She walks up to you and does laser. I wasn't entirely sure she was going to do it, but I don't know why she does it, because the laser actually cannot hit you at that range. But yeah, I'm not going to complain. So yeah, I didn't get to use much of the bombs because my cycles were really bad. Also, why are you doing this? And with this, Nashandra is dead, and just something that's slightly faster for RTA no load. If you actually warp out just after the victory achieved box shows up here, you go back into room and save like a tiny few seconds, and just like that, the run's done. So that was not a Baron, could have been a lot faster if I and time, by the way, if I'd gotten the glitch, but I'm happy with that. No, that's good for SL1. So thank you guys for joining in, and thank you for all the donations during the run, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of the marathon, because I know I will. I'll also be doing a run on Sunday, which is all bosses, no DLC, which is a bit more broken than this, so look forward to that.
Thank you so much for running, Stennis, and being part of the marathon.
Who bear the curse.
You're welcome.
Once the fire is linked, soul